What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot, and today we have in front of you the Walmart exclusive of the Transformers G1 inspired Bumblebee that uses the Netflix Bumblebee mold, which is subsequently a repaint and remold of the Cliff Jumper mold. This is where it started from in Earthrise. Now, the packaging is very nice, very G1-esque. I like it. I'm sure there's instructions on the inside. We're not necessarily going to unbox this on screen, but we will unbox this in the video and compare them with other vehicles. And as always, we start with vehicle mode because that's what you're supposed to do. Well, that's what I do. And yeah, on the front, he's got the old G1 Bumblebee look, sort of. I don't think that's exactly what he looked like in the cover, but close. The alt mold is right here, where it shows, how they kind of shoehorn that in. The packaging looks very cool. It's scary how cool this packaging is. Because remember, the mini bots actually came in not with elongated, but they did come in, that type of packaging. And it does give that nostalgia, but there's a few other things that they did. So on the back here, this is the 85, poster background. There are some text specs. They're in different languages, of course. There may be a red thing inside. I don't know. Haven't opened it yet. But the other thing that's pretty cool is the fact that it does have the logo for this on the back. So you might want to just keep this packaging just for fun. And I like that they put that on the back as an official licensed product. That's pretty cool. All right. So now that we know what the packaging looks like and all that good stuff, we're going to open this up and we're going to get him transformed into vehicle mode. And as always, we'll be back in 2 and 2 and we'll start doing comparisons. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic and we have Bumblebee in his vehicle mode. I'm not going to go super detailed on this. It's going to go short. He's same Bumblebee we got in Netflix. The only difference is he's just more yellow and a lot lighter. Yeah, let's talk about that. He is a lot lighter. And that's because of two things. This is molded in plastic, whereas the other Bumblebee, the actual Netflix version, was painted and had clear windows. When I told y'all, clear windows give you an extra, it's 2-piece instead of 1. Now, as far as look, since we don't have a chibi completely looking Bumblebee, this is probably the Bumblebee you want to get. And I'm going to talk more about that. Now we're going to go over the details here. Now the front of the car is painted silver now with the silver headlights. The bumper is still rubbery, and in the back it's still rubbery. You do have the logo on the back. I don't know if that's on the other one, but we'll be comparing that shortly. I'm just going to figure out where the other Bumblebees went to. And so, of course, there it is. Now on the bottom, he's all black. The wheels do have the VW logo on them. But like I said before, it's just lighter feeling because it's just molded plastic versus the actual Netflix version was painted. And we're going to bring out the Netflix version right now because I can tell you it's painted because I messed up on this paint quite a few times when I had an Autobot symbol that was very sticky. And when I don't know, it's like it's stained the paint. And this actually feels a lot more premium than this one. But not too bad. It's not like, oh, this feels like a light thing, but it just does. If you ask me, of course, I would say this one does look a lot better, but this one is more closer to animation accurate. Again, we just don't have that chibi look. Then, of course, next we're going to compare him to another Netflix Bee, and that was the Target version, which was the repaint and remold of the Cliff Jumper mold without any of the changes to make him into Bumblebee. And as you can see here, the yellows are not quite the same. Some people had really liked this yellow. This one is a little darker, but I guess they both kind of will work just because of the fact that they're both yellow. Now, a lot of people were, like I said, they used this as their Bumblebee because they wanted that yellow color. This one is closer. Actually, this one to me is more accurate than this one. This one has a sort of like that deeper yellow, like a banana yellow. This one is just which most bananas, but this one is a more subdued yellow. And I think it works. You know what I mean? It just does. Next is the unfortunate one we're going to talk about in the room. And that was the one that was supposed to be for L. And that was the Studio Series 86 version. Now, this is supposed to be the definitive Bumblebee. Has the right color. Is, you know, the Choro Q chibi size or super deformed. But the problem is this part right here. And I'm sorry, Hasbro. I mean, if you couldn't really get, you know, here's the deal. In Hasbro, I don't want to talk this right now, but Hasbro, here's where you messed up on. Because this isn't exactly what Bumblebee looks like, and this is more of a Bumble Jumper, a lot of people, when they heard that this one was coming out, they went for this one. Right now, this is pretty much on clearance. In some cases, it's on clearance. It's like $7. You can get this for under $20 at some places. Right now, I know Amazon had them for like $19 or something like that. Look, man, this is a weird one. I've never seen where we finally get, you know, the decent mold. Usually just where it ends. But yeah, I'm gonna say it. Vehicle mode. I like this over this one. I don't like, because of that sharp edge. It affects the robot mode. The sharp edges. It affects the robot and doesn't make him look as, you know, like that round tubby look. It's weird. But at the time, the colors and everything are right. It's supposed to be different. Bumblebee. This one's actually a little bit heavier than this one. I just feel it, but this one right here is, so far for me, I'm sorry. This might actually replace my Studio Series 86 version on the shelf. Like, seriously, I'm contemplating that, because basically this Bumblebee, so far, it looks good to me. And the other ones, like I said, this was my Bumblebee. And when I got this one, I gave this to my son. And when they came out this one, I kind of scoffed at it. But now that I have it so far, yeah, this one's the better one. So if you ask me, which Bumblebee do I like so far as their vehicle modes? And if we're going to go in order, this is how it's going to go. I'll probably leave him out because he doesn't transform into any type of, you know, a Bumblebee vehicle, you know, like a Volkswagen. But I guess so. It's basically the 928 Porsche Volkswagen, same thing. But this one is the farthest departure from that look. But I can't really rate him because the robot mode is still good. You know, I just use him like as an alternate world Bumblebee. Out of the three, the color on this one still pops, and the clear plastic gives this a very masterpiece, more serious look. This kind of looks like a toy, but it's the correct color. So we're gonna go in order. I'll say this is gonna be second, first, last. And I mean that, because I really think Hasbro could have paid more money to fix that. So we're not going to go into details too long. We're going to get these into robot mode. I'm going to show them off, and then we're going to get out of here. And as always, we'll be back in 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and we have the new Walmart G1 inspired Bumblebee in robot mode. It's all the same. Articulation's the same. I'll link back to my Netflix Bumblebee video for that. It's, you know, all the usual stuff. He does have the backpack, you know, people hate parts forming part, but it's one thing that I like. He does have the right color. I wish the forearms were yellow. Now, let me just say this. You can take the forearms if you have the Target version. They're on pins on the forearms and things like that, but you can actually move the arm from here on the peg if you want to get like a perfect looking Bumblebee. I'm not going to do that. I like to keep everything the way they are because I'm not really with that. So the yellow is not going to affect me. I still like the sculpt of this Bumblebee over the Studio Series 86. And the color is right. I mean, let's look at the color here. Here, the close up. The downside that I see is the same thing that happened with the original Netflix Bumblebee, is that the eyes are not quite right. So if you got a blue marker, you're gonna have to either paint blue eyes in, or maybe Repro Labels can help you, or maybe you can head swap again with the Target Bumblebee, because you could take the head from him and take the forearms, and you probably have a perfect Bumblebee. The yellows be a little off, but hey, who's gonna notice? And that's the only downside, is that they still have that messed up face that was on, kind of like with the Netflix version. Now, on my Netflix version, you'll see some differences. I actually fixed the face a little bit. But this one, I'm probably going to have to do some work with this as well. But that's the only downsides. The head, the eyes are recessed. No clear plastics, as we said in the beginning of the video. So that's what we're seeing. Like I said, articulation the same. You get the same silver weapon that the original Cliff Jumper mold, Earthrise mold got. But if you want to give him the glass gun, not the glass gun, but the gun that is similar to the glass gun from the Centurion weapons pack, you can do that. And now you have that weapon, which will probably be the one I'll use, and I'll probably put this away. He does not have bazooka. But of all the Bumblebees, we're going to start in order. This is the Netflix one. And like I said before, I did put an Autobot symbol on him. The difference is that the color and the clear plastic, that still, and he feels more premium this one. Yes, he does. Like, because of the paint. This is, remember, I told you, this guy is painted, yes. And this guy is just, bare plastic, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Let's bring in the other Bumblebee. Next is going to be we're going in order of release, Target one. Like I said before, the Target one has a better painted head, and he has the yellow forearms. But the downside, like I said before, you're gonna have to swap out. And then the head, I'm not sure how you take that off, because it doesn't exactly just pop off because of the back here. So that's something you got to keep in mind when they usually do that. That's usually a little difficult to get the head off, but if you want to do those swaps to get you like the perfect definitive Bumblebee, then you can do so. And if you put the three of them together so far, and the yellows, like I said before, are varying degrees. This is the burnt orange. This is, the darker yellow, and this is more of a lighter yellow. And if we bring in Studio Series 86 Bumblebee, he has basically, he's the definitive Bumblebee paint-wise. But the sculpt, because of the sharp angular look, he doesn't quite look like Bumblebee. Almost, to me, it's Bumble Jumper with Bumblebee's head. And I think they did something close to Bumble Jumper with hubcap or something like that in the Earthrise line. So this is very tough. You got 4 Bumblebees, and you got to pick one. And this is going to come down to your preference. No matter how many times I look at this one, I know it's not the correct color yellow, but this one still, to me, looks more premium than any of the 3 here. Period. This one, like I said before, too angular. This one is just the Cliff Jumper mold, and this one is probably about the closest one, because it's very toy accurate. That's it. It's not animation accurate. It's toy accurate. But, a lot of people want that Volkswagen mold. Hey, that's it right there. Like I said, in robot mode, it's going to be tough because of all of them. They have the yellow forearms. They have the clear forearms, but he's, toy accurate. This is toy accurate. So no, he's not supposed to have the yellow forearms because in the toy he did. So this is tough. I still like this one, but he doesn't belong to me anymore. I gave it to my oldest son. I still like this one, but I don't like the alt mode. I like this one, but the alt mode on this one creates the body for the robot. And then finally, there's this one. Now, which one am I going to go with? The answer to that question is, let's move all of these out the way. Is this one. This one captures most of Bumblebee. It may not capture it in the animation way, but it captures it in the toy way. And I think the yellows are what speaks to people. The downside is the face sculpt is lacking paint on the eyes. He doesn't have the yellow forearms because that's for the animation. But as far as toy accuracy, this does it. And it's that Netflix sculpt. And even though it's backwards or upside down, since if you want to say that, it makes him still look more like Bumblebee. But I will tell you that the Netflix original one is still, every time I look at it, it looks more, it just looks premium. Like if this had clear windows or blue clear windows, this really would pop. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they were going for. This is a G1 look. That's why the Gears has a G1 head. So overall, for me, I'm going to go with this one. You're going to have to pick the one you want to go with. So what are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below. This is Super Robot Ed, bringing more news reveals to them. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.